1999 might not sound like a very long time ago, but to me, it's a very long time because I was still new to chess. I don't think I'll play for more than two and a half years, something like that. And I was improving a lot and fast, as you always do when you start out with something. For example, if you go to the gym for the first time and you feel weak, you don't know anything, you just try to improve, get better and stronger and so on. But everything happens very fast. But then when you reach a certain level, you really have to fight for every pound, or if it's chess, you really have to fight for any success, and it's always like that. And anyway, I want to show 3 games quite fast that I played, and this first game was played in June 1999 against a computer and a program called Chessmaster 5500. At the time, I also had Chessmaster 6000, which came out that year, or maybe the previous year. And anyway, so I improved a lot, and I played a lot of people, and it's interesting to see how I've developed as a chess player over the years. And this game I was white, and it was the Cabo Khan. I don't have too much to say about this opening actually, because I never play for either color. So obviously black chooses the opening, but I mean I don't play this opening for black. Or if, for example, if black would play, if I ever play with the white pieces, and my opponent will play c6, maybe I would try something else. I'm not saying that Cabo Khan is bad, absolutely not. I'm just saying that it's not my style. Okay, again, I don't have too much to say about this game, except that it was a bunch of trades took place. Like here, we just traded everything off. And here on move 26, my opponent, the computer, Chessmaster 5500, had to play Queen f6, because if not, then I'm threatening checkmate on h8. And if he goes back to okay, of course he has to go to g8 here. But if king to g8, then check over here and king up here, and then I would just win this pawn. So, and again, I'm threatening checkmate. So the only move is queen to f6, and I saw my chance to mess up his or its pawn structure. So I just took. He takes now f4, and we reach this pawn endgame, which I think I didn't handle it correctly. I haven't analyzed this game. I didn't analyze it back then, but it was against a computer, so I suppose it was okay to draw a computer when I only played chess for 2 years. So, especially on this level, I had chosen the difficult level on the program, so I guess I was pretty satisfied with the result anyway. Just to go back a bit here, instead of h3 here, maybe I should try c4 check, but perhaps I was looking at something like king c5 or whatever, and then perhaps he could get his king up over here, and then just, I don't know, lock things up on the king side. But then on the other hand, if he would play his king up here, or down there, then I could get my king up here. So, I don't know. For example, something like this. So maybe it would have been a mistake. Okay. So after h3, he played b5, and now king d3, a6, c4 check, b takes, and we reached this end game here. So neither black or white can make any progress, obviously. So the game ended in a draw. So let's go to the next game against Fritz 6. Played a year after that in April 2000. I was white again, so it was Petrov defense. Again, an opening that I never play, so I don't have too much to say about this opening either, except to just show the game. A bunch of exchanges. I lost the game, but I really shouldn't have lost the game, and I will show you why. But for that to become obvious, I have to come to the end game. shortly, so let's just go over these moves rather fast. And now I'll play queen b4. Black accepted, and I took back, and then my idea here is to simply... I suppose my main idea in this game was simply to draw this game. It was against Fritz 6, of course a very strong engine, even though it's 11 years ago, but I mean, I think a lot of people would have huge problems to win against Fritz 6, or even draw it actually. I think it's very strong. Okay, I don't play against it anymore, but I mean, I know it's strong, so let's go to the end game. Okay, here's the move, g4, and I made a mistake to take the pawn. So for example, if I play king to e2 and then takes with the king, and here's a nice trap. For example, if okay, maybe black would play something like this move, and white will lose. But if not, if king g5 and takes after h4 check, and if black takes, then black is totally lost because it's stalemate, and the only move is a6. So I would just take, and after b5, king f3, and then white would just win easily. But of course, after king takes, black would play h4, and now the game is lost. White is forced to move the king, and because there are no pawn moves. So after king e2, then just king e4, and then the game is easily won for black. So, for example, again, if king e2, the game is just after h4 lost. So the correct move is actually after g4. I played f takes g4. A mistake. The best move was to play h4, I think. Because now if the pawn goes to g3, then I can just move my king back and forth, and there's no way for black to ever make any progress. I don't see that happening actually. For example, let's say white would go here, and then black would try something over here on the queen's side. Since there are no pawn moves, I would just perhaps do something like this, and now it's completely drawn again. So there really is no chance. Okay, so I think the correct move here is h4, like I said, and if black takes, then I would just take back, and the black king can't go here, here, or here, and again it's a draw. But I didn't play that. I played f takes g4, h takes, king takes, king e2, and now the game is just completely lost. And the next game was played against somebody called No Rag on ICC. It was a 5-minute blitz game, played in March 2000. My opponent played, by the way, knight c6. I would never play knight c6 against knight f3. I would play, however, knight c6 against knight c3, but that's just me. I won this game. It was a rather nice game. And now here we can see the weakness here on d6. And okay, my opponent made a bunch of mistakes, obviously here too, after these pawn exchanges on the queen's side. I just play queen d5, and black is forced to give up the exchange because there's no way to save, keep the piece otherwise black would just lose a piece because I'm threatening this knight twice. And it doesn't matter if he just takes or he takes. And here I took back with the pawn, and rook c5, and just take the rook and the pawn, and the game is just easily won for white. And now after rook b4, I'm even forcing the pawn queen exchange. Just takes. Okay, maybe you could have played something like this, but it really doesn't matter. I would just go up here, and then if something like this, I would just, it's absolutely lost. Just a queen, takes, and the rook wins easily here. So, and black resigned after rook b3 because again there's no way to stop this pawn and hold on to this pawn. For example, if bishop b8, king f3, and if the king would go up here, I would just check, and he has to go back in order to protect, because if he goes up here, I would just take. And when he takes back, then I will start pushing this pawn, and there's no way for black to make any progress. So he resigned after let's see, rook b3 was, he resigned here after rook b3. Okay, I hope you enjoy this 3 games that I showed in this video. I did most of my own part, my own interest, just to see what kind of development there's been over the last 12 years, and of course there's been a lot. I mean, in terms of knowledge and all the thousands of games that I've played since then. But I think it's interesting. I don't think these 3 games were too bad. Kind of interesting. 2 of them were against the computer. One against Chessmaster 5500 and the other against Fritz 6. Fritz 6 was a much stronger computer, obviously, than Chessmaster 5500, but both engines offered tough resistance in any way. Okay, I'll see you soon.